श्रीकांत, we are late, right?
यहाँ की पॉलिसी तो 9 से 9:30 के बीच की है ना?
तो 9 बजे भी आ सकते हैं ना?
नहीं, वैसे तो 8:30 बजे भी आके बैठ सकते हैं।
बेटा स्वेटर पहनो, नहीं तो लगेगी सर्दी।
Every second counts, श्रीकांत।
बेटा स्वेटर पहनो, नहीं तो लगेगी सर्दी। ये सीखो वो भी सीखो, डालो स्कूल की वर्दी। तूने ये कैसे सोचा, अपने मन की गाएगा। हम जो बोले वो तू कर ले, वरना कुछ ना हो पाएगा। उस पार साजन हमारा रे गहरी नदिया। दूरादा ಊರಿನ ಕಥೆಯ ಕೇಳಿದ ನನ್ನ ಹೃದಯ, ದೂರಾದ ಊರಿನ ಕಥೆಯ ಕೇಳಿದ ನನ್ನ ಹೃದಯ. ಈ ನದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಗಾಳಿಯಲ್ಲಿ प्यासी हूँ मैं तुमको पिला के, थक गई हूँ मोड़ों पे रुक के। प्यासी हूँ मैं तुमको पिला के, थक गई हूँ मोड़ों पे रुक के।
Hello, hello, hello. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all the San Diego Malayalis. I can't believe it's already 15 days into 2022. So let's get into it. Now, the moment is here. Our star guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I'm thrilled and excited to introduce one of India's greatest performers with over 100 shows worldwide. He's the bass guitarist, the most prominent member of India's Swandam leading folk rock band called Swarathma. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an immense pleasure and an honor to welcome the man with golden fingers, a great public speaker, and immensely talented Jishnu Dasgupta. Yay! I know it's on Zoom, but I'm still excited.
Hello,
Yay!
everybody. San Diego Malayali Association, San Diego Malayalis. It's my pleasure to be here. Ellarkkum namaskaram. I can speak a little bit of Malayalam, but the story of that, I'm sure Ashish is going to ask me. It's great to be here. Wish you in advance, before the conversation, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Ashish, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Well, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know, and it's a privilege to have you in our show. So, before we begin, let's talk about the elephant in the room, right? Multiple cultures, right? Bengali, Malayali, ideal cultural fusion. Yeah, we both like fish, we both like football, we both like rice and CPM, of course. How was it growing up in Kerala?
It was really quite something else to grow up speaking one language at home and speaking a completely different language outside. So I really loved the entire fusion of cultures that has happened while I was growing up. I didn't realize it was happening, of course. I only realized it later when I went out of Trivandrum and I, met people outside of Trivandrum, and I realized what a great advantage it is to have inherited the ideas of two different kinds of people or two different cultures. And what you realize more and more is that we are more same, or we are more similar than we are different. And being a part of different cultures allows you to see that and understand that. And the ability to speak another person's language, if I can speak to a Malayali in Malayalam, or if I speak to a Bengali in Bengali, it is a passport to the heart.
So you, after your studies in Kerala, in Trivandrum, right? So you decided to become an engineer, right? And then you did your MBA, right? And then you navigated to music. Was it a gradual move?
So, when you use the word navigated, you make it feel like I had these charts and maps and plans and ideas and, details of how exactly I'm going to do what. I had none of that sort.
Oh,
I was just blown by winds of the circumstance and opportunity to the places where I have been. when you're in school and everybody is either preparing for engineering entrance or medical entrance, you don't know any better, so you just go with that flow and prepare for engineering just like everyone else is doing. I was lucky in that I got into one of the better colleges. I went to NIT Allahabad, which was REC in my time. And my friend and member of your community, Rishikesh, is a friend
he
from
was part of
back in the day. You should ask him the stories.
And you've been to US also, right?
Yes. So after my engineering, I got a job with TCS. I spent some time in the US. I was thinking of doing a master's there, but then I didn't pursue that. I decided that I'd rather come back. And then, I did the MBA mainly because I was not enjoying my software job. I wanted to do something different. And what happens once you're in a particular technology in software is that it's very difficult to break out of that and be seen as somebody capable of doing something else. So which is why, you do that Ganga Snan, which in the parlance of MBA, even if you haven't ever done marketing in the past, you've suddenly done an MBA in marketing and now you're capable of doing marketing. So I did that. And fortunately, I got into one of the best Indian companies, ITC, which is a great learning experience. And I was happy. I was fine with it. I enjoyed marketing. I got posted into sales roles and things. And I was doing pretty well. But in parallel to all of this, wherever I was, whether that was engineering college or Trivandrum or Calcutta or even in Bhopal and Indore during my ITC days, I used to always look for people to jam with, fellow musicians to play with. And I would either join a band or form a band because I just always wanted to be in bands. So when I finally moved to Bangalore with ITC, I met the members of the band of Swarathma. And for the first time, I joined a band that was more serious about music than I was. In the sense, it wasn't me who was saying, guys, come, let's practice. Guys, come, we have to be serious. They were already a serious band and they had great songs. They had original material. They had something to say. And I was really, really thrilled by that. And I joined them. And then after 2 or 3 years, it became apparent that we were on a cusp of something great. We probably could become bigger or take our music to where it was meant to. But for that, it would call for a hard decision on my part and on the part of the other members of the band. And they took those decisions very easily. It was almost as if it was foregone. Yeah, of course. My bandmate, my vocalist Vasu is a very, very talented filmmaker, a trained filmmaker from NID. He could very well have been one of India's top filmmakers now, but he chose to say that, look, this is my calling. And so he gave that up and now he's
he's pursuing his dream
with us, and he's on the journey with us. So in the same way, I was inspired by all of those things. And I left my job at ITC thanks to the courage given to me by my wife, Shreya, who said, go ahead and see, we'll figure it out.
I mean, that's segueing to my next question, which was your band actually produced some very perceptive and yet very soothing music. The lyrics are so amazing. Yeshu, Allah, or Krishna. That's so fascinating. What motivates you to write these kind of songs?
We are very self-motivated in that case, in the sense it's all just coming from how I feel. So for Swarathma, or for me personally, music is a way of dealing with the world. Now, we all have different ways that we deal with the world, with the onslaught of news, with the relationships in our lives, with our aspirations at work or what have you. There's a certain way we deal with it. Maybe our way of dealing with it is to talk to friends, or maybe seek counseling, or maybe go on Twitter and engage in a flame war with somebody, or maybe go out on a candlelight vigil, or whatever it may be, or even to say that, look, I don't care about all this nonsense. I am apolitical, or these social shifts don't bother me, and I'm just going to be by myself. Even that's a way of dealing with it. For us, playing music about what is happening around us, writing a song like Asman Ki Dukaan or Yeshu Allah, is a way of dealing with the world. After writing that song or singing that song or performing that song, we feel a little bit better.
And so 3 years back, you were part of a TEDx conference, right, where you talked about using music to convey the feelings of a river, right? That's now. That was, of course, about the Kaveri River, right? And then that time there was this issue between the Karnataka and the Tamil Nadu government, and you talked about that. So how was the public response to it?
So Pyasi, the song that you're talking about, is one of our best known songs. There is a certain universal appeal to the idea of an element of nature talking to you and saying that, I am the river and I am thirsty after I have quenched your thirst. Pyasi hu main tumko pila ke. There is a, there's a metaphor of a mother who realizes that her children have forgotten that they are brothers and are fighting over the mother's love, which in a sense should be shared and should be considered impartial or unbiased. And nature tends to flow like that, except that it is us humans who decide that, no, we must draw these boundaries and build these dams and engage in these political dialogues in order to control nature. And it just doesn't work. The wish that we have, which is, I wish that we could live more in harmony with nature than at odds,
One soundtrack that was recent, that was used by the show called Family Man. And I like that song, Beta Sweater Pahano. And obviously, so for the viewers who have no idea about what this means, this actually comes from the Polo ad which used to play in Doordarshan way back. This is where I wanted to share this.
That's
बेटा स्वेटर पहनो नहीं तो लगेगी सर्दी.
So I remember one day, this is back in the time when I was actually learning the minor scale, and I came up with this line which goes, that little going up to what is called a minor third and stuff like that. I was just trying it out until I came upon that lick which goes dum 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 dum, that little. And I kept trying that until I got that lick, and then it was very trippy. It just kept going again and again, and then Vasu started singing. He immediately started singing that line. We didn't know what it was going to be about. Was it going to be about sweater? Was it going to be about winter? Was it going to be about something else? We didn't know. We just...
Okay, so it was just an instinct and it hit.
Yeah, we just wrote the musical parts of it one after the other until we had that entire structure. And that whole thing came together very quickly. Even that little punk rock part. And so there was a certain irreverence to it. Initially, we didn't think of this whole parental pressure angle. We thought of something else. We thought about the protests that were happening with the students in India and Beta Sweater Pehno as a way of, the voice of the establishment saying that, be in your place and don't protest, kind of a thing. But that didn't work. We were not happy with the song that we wrote. And it was only later that we got this idea of writing something that is about, a parent's voice asking your child to stay within the lines. Don't color outside the lines. And this is what my expectations are. And this is what you're supposed to.
Yeah. And that's what.
So the story with the Family Man is, quite by happenstance. I think they had a music supervisory team that was looking at different kinds of songs to include in the series. And they came across this song, and it applies in the series for the situation where the protagonist, Manoj Bajpayee's character, is being forced to go to office.
Forced to follow a line,
forced to, leave his old life behind and get a normal job, and how he suffers over there. And so it kind of, fits that.
Yeah, it fits there. Absolutely. Yeah. The current political climate right now, at least in India, about it, and, the challenges. So is there a challenge on how, or let me ask you like this, how challenging is it for you as an artist to be in a creative nirvana?
I think there are a couple of things that are very important for us to express and for us to understand. And that is, we don't know the answers, or we don't have a direction for people to take. Our songs don't say we shall overcome, because we don't know if we shall overcome. Right? So all of the songs are very observational in nature, in the sense that, this is how I see the world around me, and this is how it makes me feel. And as long as we are respectful of how we express what we feel, I think we should be fine with it.
Yeah. So what is Jishnu and his team in Swarathma? What are the plans? What is your band's plan for this year?
Oh yeah, well, there's an exciting time right now. In fact, tomorrow, or whenever this airs, on the 15th of January, we are dropping our first collection of NFTs.
Oh, wow.
which is something that, it's an area that we are also learning about. It's, digital ownership, exclusive ownership to a piece of our creativity in the digital space that we are very excited about sharing. And we are, interestingly, Beta Sweater Penno is a part of that NFT because we are putting up a clip of the first demo recording that we had ever done before the lyrics actually came in.
Oh, wow.
So it's like a collector's piece, so to speak. And then there are similar collections of that are coming out. Then there's a project that we are working on with the Tata Steel Foundation, where we are working with tribal musicians to write a new album of contemporary tribal songs.
Uh-huh.
So we've already done one phase of that in October, and then we were supposed to go back in February, but now I think that might get delayed a bit. But that's something we're really excited about, to be able to write a new set of songs that reflect indigenous and tribal peoples, their realities today, not just the folk songs that they've been singing for years.
Yes.
So those are a couple of things. And of course, we have our own release that is coming up, a bunch of new songs that we are quite keen to release. So yeah.
Well, that's amazing. And it was such a pleasure and joy to have a very insightful dialogue with you. So thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, India's greatest talent and excellent youth icon, Jishnu Dasgupta. But we will not let you go. We would like you to please play one of your songs that you love, and we would all like to hear that.
Well, thanks very much for this chance. Let me play something that has not been released.
There you go. It's exclusive, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's something that we're still working on and we've not yet managed to record. It is, in a sense, I'd like to share this with the community of Indians who are living far away from your hometowns or homeland, so to speak. And it often feels like you're really distant from the people that matter. But perhaps there's a way of seeing that the people that you really need, whether despite the distance, are actually close to you. So this is a song called Yuto. यूं तो एहसास है ये कहीं दूर हो के पास है हर कोई यूं तो एहसास है ये कहीं दूर हो के पास है हर कोई कहने को तो सारे नजारे कुछ बिखरे जीने को है यादें कुछ पुराने कुछ बिसरे कुछ तो बातें रही अनकही कुछ वो राहें मिली गुम कहीं जितने फासले हैं सारे तय करके ही निकले मिलके यूं बिछड़ के उन किनारों से भी गुजरे यूं तो एहसास है ये कहीं दूर हो के पास है हर कोई ना 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 यहाँ क्यों रोशनी के तले इतने अंधेरे ये सोच के क्या मिले जिनसे उजाले उनके ही साथ रहे यूं हम तो यहाँ चाहत कुन्हीं से मिले यूं ही मिलते रहे यूं तो एहसास है ये कहीं दूर हो के पास है हर कोई यूं तो एहसास है ये कहीं दूरियां तो मन में थी बसी
Woohoo! Oh my God, had it not been for COVID, I would have been standing there with you, happening with all the live audiences. But thank you so much. This was such an amazing song. I really enjoyed it and hope that this year brings you more success and brings you more fruitful time with your band. And thank you so much for taking this time out. And with this.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much, Ashish, for this great opportunity. I think it's so great to connect with the Malayalis of the San Diego area. With all of this, I hope there is one day where Swarathma can come into the San Diego area and
Yes,
be a part of a musical experience with all of you. That would be great.
we
But
will
until
all be
then,
waiting for this. Yeah.
take care.
Thank you
Thanks
so much, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.